cost of what it's going to be down the road. We haven't looked at what the incremental cost between plant number 3 and plant number 4 is what? It's $1 million construction. It's 1.6 or 1.8 if you add the extra engineering. So take that $1 million and divide it over 20 years, over 2,600 users. How many dollars is that per person? That we're changing, we're throwing capacity aside for $1 million difference. And that $1 million is granted at 2/3. So we're throwing that capacity away for $330,000. And I'm finished. I'll take the chair back. Councillor Scott?
I'd like to call the vote.
Councillor Russell would like to speak.
Okay, I'll call the vote after.
We'll have a recorded
I just
vote.
asked a question, so I never really made a comment. I'm going to bring up one point, and I hear a lot of stuff about developers. I've been in and out of this game for a long time, and I've watched developers come and go, and sometimes sit there for a long time. I watch things like here in Woods and South Cut Pines take 30 and 50-year models to fill in, 13 years for even year-round. When I hear somebody come in and 500 hotel or 300 hotel, or we had a lady here who came in and almost told us that if you don't build it, we're going to yell at you, and she did. I've never had a developer in my life yell at us when they wanted to do a project. It's usually the opposite. I usually kiss some other part of my body. I'm going to say it very simply. I don't believe that this municipality's ever had a real discussion that on limits to growth, which isn't a negative thing, by the way, when I say it. It isn't limits to growth in the sense of, no, you don't have growth. It's a whole discussion on limits to growth. We've fallen prey to a mantra in this country of growth. Growth means everything, okay? The fact of the matter is, we heard it during the election campaign, and we heard it when we did the strategic plan in 2006, and we continue to hear it, that everybody loves this environmental paradise. And at what point do we say, where is the stop point? I think the discussion hasn't been had. I'm not saying I think we should stop it. All I know is, in the years I've been here, 37 years, I've watched things fill in very slowly. I can only remember 2 peaks in growth in those 37 years. So the estimates that I see with this new alternative, whatever, I think the estimates of growth are more realistic. Whether it's 3 or 4, it comes right down to, in my case, a good partnership, a partnership that will grow with Blue Water, and I think the working group found that partnership, and I'm going to support 3 because of that. But someday we've got to have a little Mr. Growth discussion, because we can make all the wild speculation we want. The facts are, we don't build houses that fast here.
I'd like to call the vote, and I'd like it to be recorded, please.
Okay. Those in favor of the motion for option 3?
Oh, Jesus.
Those opposed? It is carried. Just before we take that, Brent wanted to clarify, am I too late for getting that clarification?
No, it's probably not a better time. I just clarify an earlier statement. I got ahead of myself. When council asked for the next step in this project was, I said an ESR addendum. The first thing we need to do is write to BCF now this decision's made, and it'll be presented to the board, but write to BCF presenting our scope change and get that approved, because I don't believe it makes any sense to do any sort of engineering work until we have our scope change approved.
Will we do that at the meeting Friday with the joint board?
You know what?
Is that on our...
If I may be so bold, it might be beneficial for council to pass a motion saying, now that this is passed, South Tier or Atlantic Shore supports getting an application for a scope change to these.
We are the lead municipality.
Yes, we are.
So Huron is concurrent.
Makes Except,
Yes, except the only item is 3.3, which is the working group. And there are two options there. So there needs to be a decision made going forward. And I guess I just like, through you, Mr. Mayor, to the Director of Community Services, in the interest of efficiency and moving forward, should this be a staff technical group?
In the past, when we first worked on this project originally, during the design, staff, it was usually staff was working with the engineer and there wasn't political involvement. When it came time, prior to joint board meetings, then there was a steering committee that met with political involvement so that, at least one person from the joint board was well apprised.
I guess at this stage of the game, we've made the decisions. So now it's important that staff meet with staff, make the technical decisions, move forward. Then you're reporting back to I'm assuming you're reporting back to the joint board. Or whatever group this is going to end up being, because we've got a governance model we still need to determine, so. That would certainly be my recommendation. I'll make it a motion.
we have one on the table already? All necessary things, okay, all necessary things in that,
I'll add that.
and that the working group
Be dissolved and the
Dissolved.
staff.
I'm going to go point of order, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to go point of order. We just established a working rapport with our sole partner after years of issues. Why wouldn't we wait till Friday, go to the joint board with South Huron and say, here's the discussion we had, what would you like to do with the working group? Would you like to roll it into a technical? Let's be collaborative, right? That'd be a refreshing change, I think, for, let's be collaborative, let's take the high road, continue to, Brent's gonna be there on Friday, he can make his recommendation, but at least have that discussion that it's a new day, we're gonna work together and continue on.
who moved that? John moved this for the
Four recommendations.
plus anything else.
Anything
And
else?
call the vote on that first, and
Yep,
then we'll have a
that's
motion on the working group. All in favor of that? It's carried. Councillor Illman.
Okay, then I move that we make a suggestion to the joint board that the working group be dissolved. And that staff
Go back to
be able
technical.
to go back and work on the technical matters, bringing all issues back to the joint board.
Good.
And
Seconder for that?
ultimately back to the councils.
Second by Councillor Russell. Councillor Scott.
So what exactly is our technical report? Or will this be a brand new one?
Well, it would be our
Okay, well,
staff.
I'll tell you, in the past, the way it worked was, and this is when I was at Blue Water, of course. It was myself, the former Director of Community Services, and then Environmental Services Director from South Huron would meet on a regular basis with the engineers for them to provide updates to staff, saying, through the final design process, we're now at the 50% design stage. This is what we're looking at for different components and the little technical details in the plan, and just embed that through us. And then after that point, it was staff's responsibility to bring back a brief update to council saying, we met with the engineer at the 50% stage. This is where the cost